In this section, we are going to learn about performance tuning in MongoDB, and this we will do with the indexes. So, right, like we know, indexes in RDBMS are created to make the performance improve. To improve a performance or querying operations, we write indexes, we create indexes so that the querying or getting the data from the table or database will be faster. So it will improve the performance of querying. It will improve the performance of database querying. So the same with the MongoDB. In MongoDB also we create the indexes to improve the performance. So what is the difference between if we will not create the index and if we create the index on a collection? So what will be the impact on the performance that we will be seeing in this section? So first what we'll do, we'll understand what is index and why we need to create a index in MongoDB. So like I said earlier, indexes used to improve the performance of getting the data. So if we create an index, we will get the data faster, and if we not create, it will take more time. Why? Because if in a MongoDB, if we not create a collection and will simply search a data, what it will do, it will look for all the documents in the collection to find the matching document. Suppose in a collection we have 12 documents or 15 documents or 100 documents, and we if we are searching for the first name, then what MongoDB search will do, it will look for all the documents to match the first name query criteria which we are passing. So it will search for all the documents one by one, so it will be taking time. And what will happen if we provide a index? If we create an index on a first name, and we if we search with the first name, then it will not be looking for all the documents. It will search only one document for the first name matching. Okay, so it will not be searching rest of the 49 documents or 12 document, 11 document. It will be going to that particular index document to fetch the result. So what is index? If we create index, it is like a key to the document location. One, if we create an index, it will be creating a key that will be pointing to a document location. So, and that indexes in MongoDB are the B tree indexes. B tree means binary tree, an array binary tree indexes. So if we create index, it will be directly pointing to that document. So in the next lecture, we'll see how it is going to impact and how many, like I said, if we not create the index, it will look for all the documents, and if you create index, it will look for the only one document that is indexed. So we'll see in the next tutorial, in the next lecture, how it is happening by doing a hands-on. In this lecture, we will be understanding the impact of indexes on querying in MongoDB. So in the last lecture we have learned the basic concept of indexing. In this lecture we will see how indexes are going to impact our performance in MongoDB. So in this we'll see by doing the hands-on how if we run a like query with index, so how many documents it is scanning to get the matching document, and if we are creating a not creating an index, then how many documents it is scanning. So the basic difference with index and without index, that is what we are going to learn in this lecture. So let's get started. So here we are using collection. Let me show you. We are using student info collection. So I'll write a query db.studentsinfo collections dot find dot pretty to see what is there. Something wrong I have written. Students info collection. Okay, it is collection. So this is the collection which we are using. which is having id, name, first name, subject, and it is having three documents. First one is this, second one is this, and the third one. So here we are having three objects or three documents in a collection. So what I'll do, I'll write a query to based on the first name. So I'll do name dot first name, and I'll pass Alan. So what I'm doing here, I'm querying based on first name Alan. Sorry, I typed it wrongly. Pretty. So here we are getting the document matching with the first name Alan, and we see how it is working. We have a method or function explain, which will explain how this has worked. So put enter and it will give you result like cursor, what cursor it is using. It is using basic cursor, and n is equal to 1, the number of objects returned is 1, number of object scanned 3. So it has scanned 3 objects or documents to return the matching one document. Why? Because we have 3 documents or 3 objects in our collection. Since this name first name is not indexed, it has gone through all the documents, all the objects to get the required result. And what will happen if we run this same query or same search with the index, that we'll see. But don't get it wrong that this is the ln is at the in the third document here, that's why it is showing number of object third. No, that is not the case. Where it is in the first place or last, it will be giving the, it will be scanning all the. This is Sunil, which is in the first document. I'll enter. See here again it is showing number of object 3. So no matter which position your document is, it will be scanning all the document to get the query result. So now what I'll do, I'll run a query based on the id field. This id field is, as we know, id field is indexed by default in MongoDB. So what I'll do, I'll remove this first name, and now I'll write underscore id, and then I'll pass this object id for Alan. So now I'm doing the same thing with the underscore id, which is index, and we'll see what is the difference, how many object it is scanning to get the result. So see here, the n still 1, but number of objects scanned is 1. It has not gone through other objects or other document to get the matching document. It has scanned only one document because this id field is indexed. So what MongoDB will do, it will create a memory for index, small memory for index document, and when we query it will just go there and fetch the required result. So in MongoDB, indexes are stored in a binary tree, b tree, so it will be easier to fetch the document matching with the given criteria. In the next lecture we will be learning how to create a index in MongoDB. In this lecture we are going to learn how to create an index in MongoDB. So in the last lecture and the previous lecture we have seen how index is going to impact the performance. So now we have the basic understanding of how index work and what is the performance gain we are getting with index. Now we will create the first index in MongoDB. So let's get started. So this is the collection, student info collection, which we are using for our hands-on. So for this I'll just query it quickly. Pretty. So here we have the documents. So now we are going to create an index on the field age, and we'll see how it is impacting the querying. So first what I'll do, I'll just run a simple command here. What I'll do, I'll query based on the age. We'll put 12 and we'll see how it is working without creating an index, how it is working, how many documents is scanning to get the result. See here, it is scanning all three documents because we don't have the index on the field age. Now what I'll do, I'll create index. To create an index we need to type the index, create index. This is the command. Create index is a method to create index in MongoDB. So create index, and inside that we'll pass the field on which we want to create an index. So here I'm passing age and I'll give 1. Here 1 means ascending order and -1 means descending order. So I'll give 1 and now I'll hit enter. So here db dot student info collection dot create index. Create index is a method to create the index on a field. So I'm creating a index on field age in ascending order. So I'll hit enter. See here what it is saying, number of indexes before 1, because we have a automatically created index on the field underscore id, and number of indexes after 2, because now we have an index on field age. So now we have the index in place. Now we will be running the command, same command again, find age equal to 12, and I'll put explain, so that we'll see how many object it is scanning after the index. So see here, now it is scanning only one object. Earlier it was scanning three objects. So this is the difference when you create index. So here it is scanning one object and earlier it was scanning two objects. So this is the performance difference. It is not going to scan the rest of the two document, which will be saving time to get the result. So that is the, in this way we can increase the performance in MongoDB. In the next lecture we'll see more about indexes. In the last lecture, we have created an index in MongoDB collection. So now we know what is index, how it works, what is the benefit of creating index, and how to create an index in MongoDB collection. Now we have created a collection, and now if we want to know how many indexes we have created or how many indexes are there in a collection, so how to find that? So in this lecture we are going to find or get the indexes in a collection. So we will be running a command get indexes, which will list the all the indexes in a collection, all the indexes created inside a collection. So let's get started. So we are using db dot students info collection. This is the, and this is the collection, student info collection. This is the collection name, and then we write get indexes. So this is the command get indexes to get the db dot collection name dot get indexes. Get indexes will list the all the indexes in the collection. So hit enter. See here we are getting two objects here. The first one is this and second one is this. The first one is for key underscore id, and second one which we have created for age. So this is the indexes in this collection, and see here the name space is class info dot student info collection. So class info is database and student info collection is a collection. So in this way we can get all the indexes in a collection. In the last lecture we have seen how to get all the indexes in a collection, and in this lecture we are going to drop an index in a collection. So in this lecture we will see how to drop a index which we have created. So let's get it done quickly. So we have this get index. We will be using drop index. So drop index will drop the index from the collection. So inside this we need to give index name, age and one. So this will delete the index from the collection. Okay, drop index. Sorry, I have typed earlier wrongly. Drop indexes. It should be drop index and then the index name we need to pass. So it's saying an index is 2, okay 1. Means earlier it was 2, now it is 1. Now we'll run the command get indexes to see whether it has been dropped or not. See here only underscore id there. So the age index has been dropped.